Hello there, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time here. My name is Jim. We listen to, talk about and do all sorts of things music-y. And today we'll be listening to and hopefully watching as well. Now, this is a cast iron guarantee that is a 20 minutes-ish selection of music that Rudy has put together. Rudy is a long-time patron, contributor, friend of the channel, and he always comes up with some really interesting things to listen to. Now, I'm going to sort of preface this a little bit before we go into what the selection is. That often when I use video that this is going to do, I can end up with some problems. So there's two major issues that might occur because of this. One is that the video will be blocked because it's additional copyrighted content. Copyrighted music we can get away with a lot of the time. We can work with a lot of the time. But when we start adding in film, it's a different set of copyright rules that come into force. So the music itself is not the problem. It's actually the visual content. It's the film. It's the copyright of the moving image. Which is owned by someone separate from the copyright of the sound. So we then have this sort of double potential problem. The other problem I also have, and I can't ever work out how to do this, is when I download a piece of video from YouTube to use in these further videos, I watch it fine and it's all in real time. But all of a sudden, when I put it all back into the video editor and try and sync it up with my video, like this, me here talking with the microphone, it all goes out of sync, and somehow the audio and the video, I don't know which one of them drifts. So I end up, although my speaking to the camera now is absolutely perfect and at the right speed and the right time, when I start the music, the piece of music has finished and I'm still sat here on the video listening to it. And what I have to do is end up sort of chopping up a bit of me in the middle of that somewhere where hopefully you won't notice, and then sort of shrinking that back down again. I just don't know how to do it. I don't know what's going on. I think it's probably something to do with the frame rate of the video that comes off YouTube compared with the frame rate that I'm filming on. Right. This is all getting very technical and boring and dull. I'm very sorry. Let's get back to what Rudy is talking about. So, Rudy, let's talk music. Yes, let's do it. So Rudy said that before I went on holiday, this is going back a long time ago, I went on holiday to Jersey back at the end of May. I had a chat with him and we talked about all the stuff that I had on my spreadsheet coming out, and there's a lot of albums on there, and there still are. So he decided it was time to think about putting in some different stuff as well. So different styles of music and different sorts of videos. So we're going to have a couple of cast iron guarantees. After all the noise of Nevermore, Rudy wants to do something a bit more quiet this time. As I know, as you know, so I'm reading his email. As you know, I was in Berlin for Chris Botti. Basically, Chris Botti is jazz. But other than in Germany, the American and probably also the English jazz musicians don't mind mixing up genres. And so did Chris Botti on his 2009 Live in Boston DVD. I picked 4 videos from this DVD, all different. Now, there's one thing you have to decide about. All songs have 2 versions on YouTube. One is only the music, and the other is with the announcements, which is part of the fun in my eyes. I'll let you decide which one to go for. So, well, Rudy, it's your video. You want the fun, and we're going to do what you want. So, we've got 4 tracks. They're all going to be completely different, apparently. I'll tell you what we've got. We've got I've Got You Under My Skin, which is an old Frank Sinatra tune with a lady singing. We have Emmanuel. This song is in the top 3 of my all-time favourite instrumental songs. It's not only the music, but it's also the passion of the violinist. It gives me the chills every time. Broken Vow. Josh Groban is one of those crossover artists, being an opera tenor. He also does a great job singing pop ballads and songs. And then finally, we have the track called Indian Summer. I walked into Saturn Record Store one day in 2009, and this song was playing on a big screen. I had to buy the DVD immediately. Lots of great music, but I didn't want to play the mega stars as Sting and Steven Tyler. Okay, so they must be on this as well. This song features the drummer Billy Kilson. Please watch him and tell me how someone can play these multi-rhythms and chew chewing gum at the same time. Even though jazz is not your preferred genre, I hope you simply enjoy the music. Well, Rudy, I'm sure we will. I'm sure everyone here is going to enjoy this. I'm sure everyone's going to have an opportunity to enjoy it. I'm not going to say actually who's going to enjoy it. But we all have a chance to hear something different. So we're going to start off with I've Got You Under My Skin, Chris Botti featuring Catherine McPhee in Boston. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, bosh.
So tonight for me is such a night of what ifs. When we found out that we could perform here and found out that the Boston Pops were available.
He's very young.
It was such a challenge to put together a show that really kind of brought artists that were so well known into arenas that they normally don't go. And that's been part of the fun, the ride that we've been going on the last few months putting this together. This next song we're about to play for you right now is a great example of a what if, right? And I must tell you that in anticipation for tonight, Mark Whitfield and I have been fighting. I've been basically keeping him away at all costs from our next artist. Everyone in the world has a crush on her. I get it. You stay over there in your space behind your pedals and everything, okay? She's my guest tonight. Okay, but here's the what if. What if we took a classic arrangement, something like this? I'm sure you'll recognize this. Frank Sinatra's I've Got You Under My Skin. It only takes about a second to recognize that phrase. And then you combine it with an artist that's really on a huge ascent to stardom. She is not only beautiful, but incredibly talented, and her phrasing is a perfect match for a style that you probably haven't heard her sing before. Come on, Boston, help me in welcoming Miss Catherine McPhee.
I've not heard of her.
I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me, so deep in my heart that you're really a part of me. I've got you under my
It's music from another age, isn't it?
I've tried so not to give in. I've said to myself this affair will never go somewhere.
It's amazing that the 20th century produced such an extraordinary broad range of music compared to all rest of time. That one century, that 100 years, from 1900 to 1999, produced such an extraordinary range of music.
And repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you never can win. Oh, use your mentality. Wake up to reality. But each time that I do, just the thought of you makes me stop just before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin.
And a jazz guitar.
I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near. In spite of a warning voice that comes in the night and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you never can win. Oh, use your mentality. Wake up to reality. Each time that I do, just the thought of you makes me stop just before I begin. 'Cause I got you under my skin. 'Cause I got you under my skin.
Oh. You are right, Rudy. This is very just sort of comforting, lovely background music. It's unchallenging, I don't know, on anything. It is just lovely, lovely, lovely background music, but it's very much not music to sort of listen to and really get deeply involved in. It's kind of just sort of washes over you and just sort of makes you smile. And sometimes that's what music's meant to do, you know. The next track we've got is called Emmanuel, featuring Lucia Micarelli. Don't know what this is, but we'll find out. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Oh.
I always wanted someone that I could musically work off of on stage, and we found the perfect voice for this song called Emmanuel, and we'd like to perform it for you now. Please welcome Miss Lucia Micarelli to the stage.
Lucia Micarelli. Okay, violin. Very tugs at the old heartstrings. This is properly emotionally beautiful, beautiful music. Ooh. Without looking at the video, if you're just listening to the music, you could almost be in a 60s or 70s film with it's just like, not maybe a melodrama, but something, a real sad piece with the, I don't know, it's very cinematic. Wow. Both of those players are extraordinary. The violin just sounds amazing, but I've got to say that his trumpet playing,
she's a rock star, Miss Lucia Micarelli,
is so pure and clean. It's really interesting. It's really lovely to hear a trumpet being played so purely. It's wow, amazing. Wow, right. This next track is called Broken Vow. So this has got Josh Groban, one of those crossover artists. Being an opera tenor, he does a great job singing pop songs and ballads. We'll see where we go with this. Here we go then. 3, 2, 1, bosh.
This gentleman has revolutionized classical music and brought it to so many people. He has millions and millions and millions of fans throughout the world, and I'm proud to consider myself one of them. Please welcome, on a song called Broken Vow, Mr. Josh Groban.
This is so I'm out of my depth with this. I really do not know any of these people at all. Millions of fans. Oh, well, there we go.
I want to know the way he looks and where you go. I need to see his face. I need to understand why you and I came to an end. Tell me again, I want to hear. Broke my faith in all these years, who lays with you at night when I'm here all alone, remembering when I was your own. I let you go, I let you fly. Why do I keep on asking why? You go now that I've found a way to keep somehow more than a broken vow.
Not my sort of music at all, this one.
Show me the tears you never shed. Give me the touch, the one you promised to be mine. Or has it vanished for all time? I let you go. My eyes and dream of you and I, and then I realize there's more to love than only bitterness and lies. I close my
That little phrase there sounded like a John Williams thing from. I think it was on Raiders of the Lost Ark. more not my thing at all. I can appreciate it. I can appreciate the quality of the voice and the music in there. It just, I really, I don't dislike it, but it's just, it's not for me. It really is not. It's kind of almost like Disney music or something from a sort of the midpoint of a musical. It's kind of musical theatre. It's not my thing at all. So, Rudy, sorry about that one. But no, I won't be revisiting that one, I don't think, in anytime soon. Right, but we have one track left. This is called Indian Summer. This features the drummer Billy Kilson. So, looking forward to this. Like a bit of drumming. I am a drummer, so let's go. 3, 2, 1, bosh.
They don't prepare you for that at jazz camp. Please welcome Mr. Billy Kilson on the drums.
Hello, Billy.
Are you ready for him now? All right, this is called Indian Summer, Mr. Billy Kilson.
It's got a bit more of a pulse to it. It's alive. Excuse me. Yes, that's a groove. Interesting looking bass. Control on that bus. Oh, man. Single-handed roll. That's good. Bloody hell.
Let's hear from Mr. Billy Kilson on the drums, everybody! Thank you so much, everyone. One more time on the guitar, Mr. Mark Whitfield. Whitfield? On the bass, Robert Hurst. Billy Childs on the piano. Keith Lockhart and the incredible Boston Pops. And one more time for Billy Kilson on the drums. Thank you, Trudy. We'll see you, everyone. Good night. We loved it. Take care. Good night.
Amazing. Take a bow, gentlemen. Take a bow. Yay. Well done. I'll just stop it there because there's another minute or two of stuff on here. I may just be talking. But, wow. Okay. Rudy. The third track was not one that I particularly enjoyed. But beyond that, I've really, really, really loved this. And that last one. Oh, my God. Billy Kilson. What a drummer. What a drummer. Cool as a cucumber and in the zone. It's not difficult to chew gum, you know. I know you're saying, how can you chew gum and play that at the same time? It's just, I'm surprised he didn't swallow it. But no, he was awesome. Absolutely awesome drummer. I think he was on the first track as well. He was very, very restrained on there. On I Got You Under My Skin. He's doing that real sort of just that jazz swing thing. Swing is not really my one of my go-to genres at all. Jazz is a tricky one for me because so in some ways I like a lot of what I hear, but in other ways it kind of it just doesn't stir something in my soul in the way that it would do my brother or millions of other people. There are bits and pieces here and there I can pick out of it and say I like that. Overall, I'd say sort of 3 out of 4 ain't bad. And yes, the first one I liked because it was warm and comforting, and it was very familial. It was like Bing Crosby singing "White Christmas" to you. There's that sort of feel to it, but with her voice, it's silky, sultry, and lovely, and just like being wrapped up in velvet. The second one was a tour de force of phrasing, response, and replying between the trumpet and the violin, and two musicians absolutely at the peak of their powers. Not instruments we often listen to on the channel, but they sounded amazing, and you have to sort of hand it to them. They are well good at what they do, really, really good. I'm going to skip over the third one, and I could appreciate it for what it is. Really, is not my sort of music at all. But that fourth one, there was so much life and energy and excitement and vitality and everything in there. And I'm sure as a band they've played this 1,000 times in 1,000 different venues in 100 different cities around the world, and every time it will be a little bit different because it's live and you don't know quite how it's going to turn out. But oh my word, fabulous, 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 fabulous. Rudy, my dear boy, thank you so much for bringing something else, something interesting, something different to the channel. You always bring the goods, and I appreciate you, man. I really do. Thank you so much. I hope those of you that have watched this have enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video, whenever and whatever that is. Until then, this is Jim, over and out.